Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study microeconomics. Our book is NCERT. Chapter is Theory of Consumer Behavior and the section is Demand. Right? So, how does demand get determined? Demand gets determined based on consumers' income, price of other goods, price of the goods that the consumer is, price of the goods, price of other goods. Other good means complementary, substitute goods, right? Tastes, preferences, choices of the customer. These are the things on which the demand of a commodity depends. Consumer's income, price of the goods in question, price of other goods, and the consumer's taste, preferences and choices. Right? So, we take a formula. It's a very simple formula. Suppose there are two goods, X and Y. Right? So, here there are two variables, Y and X. Y is a function of X. It depends upon the changes in that take place in the X. So, Y is called dependent variable. X is called independent because the value of Y depends on the value of X. We go next. Suppose the value of X is 0, 1, 2, 3 and Y, it goes like this: 10, 15, 18, 20. So, it becomes like this: 0, 10, 1, 15, 2, 18, 3, 20. Right? When we plot it on a diagram, it becomes like this: O, good 1, good 2. Here, this is Y, this is X. Here we could take 1, 2, 3 and 4. And this one 5, 10, 15, 20. So, the combinations are 0, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. 0, 10. 0 of X, 10 of Y. 0 of X, 10 of Y. It comes here. Next one, 1, 15. 1 of X, 15 of Y. 2, 18. 2 and 18. 3, 20. 3, 20. So, if you do like this, it comes to this, right? It comes to this. So, this represents 0, 10, 1, 15, 2, 18, 3, 20. So, what do you see here? It's an increasing, what is it? It's an increasing graph. So, what is increasing graph? Here, we need to see that when the value of X increases 0, 1, 2, 3, the value of Y doesn't decrease, when x increases, the value of y doesn't decrease, right? Let us take another example. X is equal to 5, 10, 15, 20. Y is equal to 100, 90, 70 and 40. Plot it. 0, good 1, good 2, y, x. Right? So here what did we see? 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. And here what do we have? 190, 70, 40. Suppose this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 100, 80, 60, 40, 20. Now you plot it. How it goes? 500, 1090, 1570, 2040. X, Y, X, Y. This is 5, 10, 15, 20. So 500, where it is? 5 of X, 100 of Y. Right? Here it is. Then 1090, 10, 90, 1570, 1570, 2040, 2040. So it goes like this. Here what happens? We have to see when the value of y x increases, y doesn't increase. In the previous, what did we see? When the value of x increases, y doesn't decrease. That was ascending. This is descending, upward sloping. This is downward sloping. Here when the value of x increases, y doesn't increase. So this is descending one, right? Then another thing we see, when there is a correlation between the values of x and y, as we have seen here. Suppose y is equal to x plus 5 and y is equal to 50 minus x. O, good one, x, y, and this is good 2, right? So here what do we see? Y is equal to x plus 5. Whenever the value of, you see the value of y, it moves in tandem with x plus 5. So here the value of x goes 1 this way. Here the value of y goes up and it is x plus 5 at any point of time. That one is ascending. Then we see y is equal to 50 minus x. Here it is descending, ascending, descending, right? Then this one is, what is this? This is price and this is quantity, right? Price, quantity. Now we go ahead, demand curve and the law of demand. What is a demand curve? See, other things remaining unchanged, when the price of a commodity goes up, the demand goes down, right? This is applicable to normal goods. and other things remaining the same. So what happens? It goes like this: price, quantity. So there is a correlation like this, and the slope is negative. The relationship is negative. Why it is negative? When the price goes up, demand goes down, quantity demanded goes down. When the price is lower, quantity demanded increases, right? So demand curve shows that at any point in time, the demand for a commodity will go up with decrease in prices, and demand for a commodity will come down with increase in prices. So there is a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. And this curve equation is Q is equal to dP. Quantity demanded is a function of the price of the good, right? It's a relation between the quantity demanded, quantity of commodity demanded, and the price. And then suppose there is a fall in the price of a good, then what happens? There is a fall in the price of a good. Two things happen. First, the price goes down and the consumer's purchasing power goes up. Means with the same level of income, when the price decreases, the consumer can buy more of the goods with the same income, right? Then, since the price of a good has gone down, the consumer is able to buy more with the existing income. Suppose we adjust the income in such a way that the consumer is able to get the same bundle that he used to have with his original income. So what happens? Suppose the price of good one is P1 and it goes down by delta P1, right? Price of a good is P1 and it goes down by delta P1. Delta is a change in P1, right? So what happens? The consumer, his income will need to be adjusted by P1 minus M minus delta P1 x1, right? M is the original income, delta P1 x1, right? So this is the adjusted income of the consumer. What adjusted? With the reduced price of a good and with the reduced income, the consumer will be able to afford buy the same bundle as he or she used to buy before the change in the price or change in the income, overall income. So how does the budget line move? So we can see the movement of budget line if the income is adjusted as per the, suppose this is the original budget line, right? This is the original budget line and price of good one goes down. Then what happens? The consumer will be able to, the budget line shifts. When the price of good one goes down, the budget line shifts to the right, outward. You can say right or outward. The consumer is able to buy more of good one, right? Now, suppose in view of the reduction in the price of good 1, this is the original budget line, right? And the price of good 1 has gone down. So we are adjusting the income of the customer. We are adjusting the M, income of the customer. Then what happens? This becomes like this budget line. And the point, what is this point? X1, X2. It remains the same. It cuts this new budget line, shifted budget line, cuts the original budget line at X1, X2. Right? Why does it do like this? Because even with the changed price, adjusted income, the consumer is able to afford the same bundle, X1, X2, able to afford. Here, the price of good 1 has gone down. Here, this was the original budget line. The budget line now shifts outward or rightward because now the consumer can afford more of the goods with the same income. And what will happen if the price of good 1 goes up? This budget line will shift leftward or inward because with the same income now the consumer will be able to buy less because the price of good 1 has gone up. Now this is X1, X2, this point, right? Here also the new shifted budget line cuts the original budget line previous to the income adjustment at X1, X2. Why does it cut this previous budget line at X1, X2? Because the income of the consumer is adjusted in such a way that the consumer is able to afford X1, X2 bundle of goods, right? So it cuts there. Now below this, whatever set of bundles are there, below this, they were available to the consumer earlier also. Beyond this, the bundles were not affordable to the consumer earlier. But now you will find when you go to the left of this point X1, X2, though the bundles are available to the consumer, they are inferior because any point below this, if you take any point below this, there will be at least one point on the budget line where the consumer will get some more of at least one of the goods, right? So below this, inferior bundles, above that, earlier which were not affordable, now they may be affordable because the price of good 1 has gone down. So the consumer may choose bundles which are to the right of X1, X2, of course provided the income M can choose, and there it may happen that the consumer continues to consume the same amount of good 1 despite adjustment of the income, right? So I hope you got it, right? Then we would like to understand in very simple language what is the substitution effect. The change in the optimal quantity of a good, the change in the optimal quantity of a good when its price changes and the consumer's income is adjusted in such a way that the consumer is able to buy the same bundle which he or she was able to buy before the price change and income adjustment, right? that is called substitution effect, right? There is a change in the price of a good, right, which we saw here. The price is reduced. In view of reduction of the price of good 1, the consumer's income is adjusted in such a way that the consumer is able to buy the same bundle with the adjusted income as he or she used to buy earlier, right? So, the change in the optimal quantity of a good when its price changes and the consumer's income is adjusted so that she can just buy the same bundle that she was buying before the price change is called the substitution effect, right? Then, however, if the income of the consumer doesn't change, then what happens? If the income of the consumer doesn't change, then due to the fall in the price of the good, the consumer will experience a rise in the purchasing power, right? Due to the consumer's income doesn't change, but due to the fall in the price of good 1, the consumer will experience increased purchasing power because the price has gone down, right? So, he can buy more with the same income with the reduced prices, right? So, the change in the optimal quantity of a good when the purchasing power changes consequent upon change in the price of a good. Consequent upon the change in the price of the good is called the income effect, right? What is the substitution effect? The change in the optimal quantity of a good when its price changes and the consumer's income is adjusted in such a way that the consumer is able to afford the same bundle as before the price change is called the substitution effect, right? And when the income remains same but the price of the commodity changes, then if the price goes down, the consumer experiences increased purchasing power. So that is called income effect, right? The inverse relationship between the consumer's demand for a good and the price of the good is called the law of demand, right? Law of demand. What is the law of demand? There is an inverse relationship between the price of a good and the demand for the good. Inverse relationship. When the price goes up, demand goes down. When the price goes down, demand goes up. That is called inverse relationship, and that is the law of demand, right? So, with a very small diagram, you can know this is good 1, this is good 2, and this is the, what is this? This is called linear demand curve, right? This is A upon B, and this is Q is equal to A minus BP. This slope, right? And this is quantity. As we discussed, vertical is price, horizontal is quantity, and A minus B, and this is A. This you should remember, right? This is the linear demand curve, right? When the price goes up, price is here, so demand is here, price is here, demand is here. When the price is in between, demand for good 1 is here, right? So as price goes up, demand comes down, right? Now, there are two kinds of goods, normal and inferior goods. What are they? Normal good. If my income goes up, the consumption of normal goods goes up, right? Those are called normal goods. If my income goes up, almost in the same proportion, the consumption of normal goods goes up. But in relation to the price, they continue to have inverse relationship with the price. My income is going up, my consumption is going up, right? But correlation with price continues. If price goes up, I reduce my consumption. If price comes down, I increase my consumption. This relationship is called for normal goods, right? So now, what are inferior goods? Inferior goods, you will see, it relates to coarse food or coarse clothing. Suppose my income is very low, so I consume coarse food. Very low, I am talking about very low. So when my income slightly goes up, I tend to consume more of this. There is no direct relationship between the two, right? But when I become better, my financial position becomes better, this may not hold true. Once again, that ratio may hold true. That if the price goes up, I consume less. If the price comes down, I consume more. This is related to inferior goods, right? It may also happen that today my financial position is very bad. So, I am getting some commodity is inferior good to me, right? When this thing improves, financial position improves, the same thing may go out of my portfolio. Or if I am in the middle class, I am consuming something, right, which is considered inferior at that point in time. Next, if my financial position worsens, I become very bad financially, then what happens? I may tend to consume lower, inferior quality goods, coarse food, coarse clothing. So circumstances, change in financial circumstances also acts on the defining of normal goods and inferior goods, right? Then there are substitutes and complements. What are complements? Complements are which go together. Tea, sugar, pen, ink. So what happens? If the price of tea goes up, the price of sugar also goes up. If the price of pen goes up, the price of ink also goes up. So, complementary goods, their demand moves in tandem. If the demand for tea goes up, the demand for sugar will go up. If the demand for pen goes up, demand for ink will go up. But in case of substitutes, it's the other way around. What are the substitutes? Tea, coffee. If the demand for tea goes up, then what happens? What happens? Demand for tea goes up. So its price also will move up. So people will try to shift to coffee. When people start buying more coffee, demand is more, the price of coffee also will start going up. So in case of complementary goods, the demand for the complementary goods moves together almost. In case of substitutes, it moves in the opposite direction, right? If the demand for tea goes up, demand for coffee goes down. If the demand for coffee goes up, demand for tea comes down. These are substitutes. And so what is the shift in the demand curve? See, suppose, what is the shift in the demand curve? This is the demand curve, right? Right? So what happens here? If my income increases, demand curve shifts to this, right? If my income decreases, demand curve shifts like this. Okay? So here, in case of increase, this is the movement. In case of decrease, it moves inwards or leftwards, right? Demand curve in here shifts leftward when the income goes down. Then movement along the demand curve and shift in the demand curve, right? See, this is the demand curve. So if the price goes up, there is a movement of the demand curve only in relation to the change in the price. In respect of all other factors, the demand curve shifts. If it is here, either it shifts rightwards, outwards, or leftwards, inwards, right? So in case of a change in the depicts movement along the demand curve, movement along the demand curve due to change in price, and shifting of demand curve due to all other factors, right? I hope you found it easy to understand. In case of any difficulty, you can approach me on my email ID, which will be there at the thumbnail to the video, right? So once again you remember, demand curve, there is movement along the demand curve in case of change in price. There is shift of demand curve in case of all other factors, right? Either it moves this way outwards or it moves this way inwards, right? Okay, thank you very much.